Hey guys, it's Caden. Welcome to another episode of Get Prepped Podcast, where we talk with voice actors, nonprofit leaders, and business owners about going to be in the new game, Get Prepped. Today we have an amazing individual. You might recognize him as a security guard from Chicago PD, and he actually hosts a radio show in Georgia weekly. He is Ricky Bartlett. Thanks for coming on, Ricky.
Hey, Katie, nice to see you again, my friend.
Nice to see you as well. My first question for you is, how did you get into voice acting?
Oh, man, number one, I've been in radio since the 90s. So I just, one day, about in 2019, I decided, I want to do a little bit more than just, radio broadcasting. Because I'm so used to doing commercials and things like that. And I reached out to a few agencies, and that's when the ball started rolling. Because you know what? You can't be afraid to audition for anything, because what's the worst they're going to say? No, I'm used to that. So we're good.
Exactly. Amen to that. Same way with jobs, and it's worth casting your net out. That's the worst we're going to say. No, we're good. So I really like that answer. My next question for you is, what was your favorite role to take on in your acting career?
Oh, an acting career. Oh my goodness. That's like, well, of course, like you mentioned, Chicago PD. I like that role because it was a non-disabled role. And no one on set knew that I was a leg amputee until I had to stop after the 11th take to adjust my leg. And as soon as I rolled that pants leg up, they automatically knew and just treated me like gold. But the fact that I auditioned for the role and I got it for a non-disabled character, that's one of my favorites. Now, the one I just did for Murdoch Murders, which is a Hulu TV series, that's a good role too, but he is handicapped in a wheelchair. And that's a whole different avenue right there. It was filmed in Atlanta, and I think that's going to be a good show when it finally comes out.
I think so too. Alex Murdoch is that billionaire, right? I think I've heard of his name before.
That is the one that has been all in the news about murder and this and that. Now, in this rendition, Jason Clarke from Terminator Genesis is playing Alex Murdoch, and then his wife is being played by Patricia Arquette. And my role is Mark Altman, who was one of the fathers of one of the kids, teenagers, who was in a boating accident.
I'll have to see if I can find the story about murder. I love true crime. My next question for you is, what's a funny or challenging on-set experience that you've had in your acting career or during your radio show? What's a funny or challenging experience that you've had in the booth?
Well, I will say, because I am a double leg amputee, I get severe phantom pains. And the only way I can ever explain it to people is take your finger, stick it in a light socket. And once that power hits you, that electricity goes through your body, you cannot stop yourself. You can't pull it out by yourself. Someone has to pull you out of that. That's what phantom pain is like. It's the surge of this powerful electricity that hits every nerve ending in the legs. And so when that happens, I have been on set for Intent Unknown, which had Eric Roberts in that one. And during the shoot, it happened. And when it happens severe enough, I get memory loss. And so I completely forgot my lines. And I had to sit back and reread my script to regain that again. And it's happened a couple of times. But in that film, was the worst one. So it's really nice when you have patient people on set that can say, hey, let's move on to something else while Ricky recovers, in which I greatly appreciated.
It's definitely great to have patient people, and that definitely sounded challenging. I'm glad you're able to get through it, Ricky. My next question for you is, what's something that you've learned throughout the course of your acting career that you wish you knew when you first started?
You have to, have more patience. I wasn't very patient at first. And you have to understand that you can't take it personally. If you do not get a role And again, it's one of those situations where you have to have the mentality, a no is a no. It's just, you move on. You can't take it personally. It's just at that moment, you were not the right person because they're looking for a certain set of either looks or skills, a vibe. It could even be the fact that, let's say I have a Southern accent. Maybe they don't want that Southern accent. It's something very simple as that. But the biggest thing and biggest hurdle that I've had to get over is for it not to hurt my feelings. So over the years, and plus in broadcasting, you build up a really thick skin, so you don't worry too much about opinions. But when we're new in the acting field, you kind of want to please everybody. When now you get to a point where it's like, I'm not really interested in pleasing people. I'm going to give them my version of what I think the character is. If they like it, fine. If they don't, then wonderful. You got seen before great casting directors who won't forget you, but you move on to the next one. And so I think that's one of the biggest things I learned.
Oh, I definitely love that advice. And I definitely love your perspective of things. Exactly. With anything, like I said, you just have to cast your net out. If they say yes, great. If they say no, that's all right. You still got to apply or audition for all these amazing people, all these great companies.
There it is. And that is half the battle, is getting the audition. And then the rest is easy.
Exactly. I really like that perspective. My last question for you is, if you could take on the role of any character, past or present, who would it be and why?
I'll be honest with you. The role that I'm about to do and Get Prepped, that's the one I'm really excited about, because that is the one that is a part of a video game. And I apologize if I'm promoting the Get Prepped video game. However, my role as Scott, as a prison guard, is phenomenal. I love that role, and the fact that the wonderful people with the company decided that, Ricky, I think is good enough for this. It was humbling, and the simple fact that I'm going to play a role that has such a what's the word I'm looking for? Scott has a pivotal role in the prison system when things decide to just blow up and become chaos. So I have to say I'm very excited about this one the most right now.
And we're very excited to hear your character in the game. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much to Ricky for coming on and sharing his perspective. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews with those involved in Get Prepped, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Get Prepped channel. And to learn more about the game, scan the QR code here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hey, have a great day.